Hi, and welcome to the Community Library Story Time. My name is Miss Theresa, and I work at the Community Library in Salem and Twin Lakes, Wisconsin. This evening, I'm going to read some stories that deal with saving our Earth a little bit. We have Earth Day coming up and Arbor Day, and my friend here, McGeezy, which means eagle in Ojibwe, are going to read some stories. But the first thing I'd like to do is show you a couple of our books. Our first book that I want you to see is We Are Water Protectors. This book won the Caldecott Award this year for illustrations. It's a really very pretty book. Lots and lots of pretty illustrations in it. You can check this out at the library. Another book we have on our shelves at the library is called Compost Stew. Compost is what you can do with scraps and leaves and grass clippings and things like that, and it'll actually make dirt, which is really a pretty cool thing if you think about it. So you can check this book out at the library also. But tonight I'm going to read you a story. This story is actually about a friend of mine. Her name was Josephine Mondaman, and she was called the Water Walker. Josephine walked all the way around the Great Lakes. That's a long way if you look at the picture of the Great Lakes. So let's see what Josephine did. The Water Walker, written and illustrated by Joanne Robertson. And there's Josephine walking. She has a McGeezy staff, which is an eagle staff, and a copper pail, and it's got water in it. Nokomis, which is another name for grandmother for Josephine. Nokomis loved Nabi. Nabi is water, and Nabi loved Nokomis. Rain or shine, hot or cold, calm or wild, every morning, like the women in her family before her, Nokomis hopped out of bed, and before doing anything else, she sang Gitchi Miigwech Nibi, which means, thank you very much, water, for the life you give to every living thing on earth. I love you, I respect you. But one day a wise Ogama told her, in my lifetime, the day will come when an ounce of water costs more than an ounce of gold. What are you going to do about it? Like an arrow, his words pierced Nokomis's heart. She looked around and saw how people were disrespecting the water, wasting it, making it unfit for life. Day turned to night, nights turned to weeks, and Nokomis remembered Ogama's words. A few moons went by, and then one night, Nokomis had a dream. Early next morning, Nokomis called her sister and Kwewak Nichis, which are women friends, over for tea to talk about their responsibility to protect Nibi, the water. Four days later, Nokomis and the Mother Earth Water Walkers, as they came to be known, found themselves standing on the side of the road wearing sneakers. Nokomis carried a copper pail full of Nabi in one hand and a McGeezy staff in the other. If no one noticed Nabi, maybe they would notice the water walkers. Maybe someone would ask why they carried Nabi in their copper pail. Maybe someone would be moved to protect Nabi too. And here are the Great Lakes. And we live in such a small part of them. Nokomis and the Mother Earth water walkers walked around all the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence River. They walked every spring for 7 years. They prayed and sang to Nabi. They left Zima in every lake, river, stream, and puddle they met. They got up before the birds and went to bed when the moon rose. Nokomis was interviewed on television, in newspapers, and on radio. She was even in movies, but big companies, politicians, and even her next door neighbors still did not feel the urgency to protect Nabi. What more can I do, wondered Nokomis. A year later, over by the Atlantic Ocean, Anichikwe had a dream, which she shared with Nokomis as soon as she woke up. Nokomis shared the dream with all the people she had met during her previous walks. Word spread fast across Turtle Island. Everyone began to prepare. Next thing you know, there were Quaywalks standing at each salt Nabi surrounding Turtle Island, with a copper pail in one hand, a McGeezy staff in the other, and they were wearing sneakers. In the west, Nokomis and the Mother Earth water walkers set off from the Pacific Ocean, saying, Niga Niji Nibi Onji, I will do it for the water. 1 year after a devastating oil spill, Nokomis and the water walkers set off from the Gulf of Mexico, singing to Nabi and praying for healing for Nabi. Water, we love you, we thank you, we respect you. Nibi Nikaseiku Imigwe Chawe Nimigu Gijawe Nimigu. Next, Nokomis and the water walkers set off from the Atlantic Ocean in the east. At the send-off, they walked barefoot on the rocks and the beautiful petroglyphs and sang to Nabi. Putting on their sneakers, they started out on the migration trail their ancestors had traveled hundreds of years before. In the frigid north, the ice was 5 feet thick. Nokomis and the Mother Earth water walkers put Sama on the frozen Nabi, singing their thanks, respect, and love. And here you can see they walked, they slept, they ate, they had really sore feet, but they kept walking. Saltwater tears filled the Mother Earth water walkers' eyes as the 4 salt Nabi met Lake Superior. One day, the 4 salt Nabi will be reborn as clouds and will be carried home on the wind, said Nokomis. Nokomis went through 3 knees and 11 pairs of sneakers walking for Nabi. She got her knees replaced and is at home resting up, taking time to surf online for new sneakers. Every morning she puts down her sema for Nibi and sings her gratitude. She prays people wake up and realize that without Nibi, there is no life. And she continues to wonder, what are you going to do about it? The end. What do you think you can do to save some water? Well, one easy thing you can do is not let the water run while you're brushing your teeth. Put a little bit of water with your toothpaste, turn off the water, brush your teeth, and then turn it on when you rinse it. And it saves maybe a gallon or two of water. How about that? Or you can just make sure you don't have a lot of water running all the time and walk away from it. That would waste a lot of water. There's many things you can do. And now you can read about my friend Josephine Mendamen. In the back of the book, it tells you how to contact her, but sadly, Josephine isn't with us anymore, so you can't contact her. But her husband still lives up in Canada near Thunder Bay, and every morning he gets up and he goes and sees the water. I hope you've enjoyed story time tonight, and I hope you pick up one of these fun books. This one's about my friend. This one's about making dirt. And this one is the book that won the Caldecott Award this year. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see you in the library soon. And McGeezy says, bye-bye.